Hi friends, today we'll dive into the tale of the greatest betrayal in the Warhammer 40k universe. Everything takes place in the Istvaan system, on the outskirts of the Ultima Segmentum. There exists a self-sufficient colony with its own laws and customs, one that survived the Age of Strife. Imperial reconnaissance vessels took note of this. The locals questioned the imperial truth spread by the heralds of the Great Crusade. The Imperium was dissatisfied, and since diplomacy failed, they chose to enforce compliance through force, but without using extermination weapons, as the planet had special value for them. The task was given to the Masters of Precision Strikes, Corvus Corax and his Raven Guard. They carried out their duty and departed to attend to other matters. At that moment, the Imperium began restoring and fortifying the planet, succeeding in their efforts, something we'll return to later. Then the Imperium appointed its own man, Vardus Praal, as planetary governor. At first, everything seemed fine. He carried out his duties flawlessly, but it didn't last. Before long, he was lured in by Slaanesh cultists who were already embedded among the native population of the planet. He ended up leading a rebellion against imperial rule. As a result, a sect known as the War Singers gained significant influence on the world. Because of the planet's remoteness, and with warp storms intensifying, all communication between Istvaan and the Imperium's core worlds was severed. 6 years after the last message from Istvaan, a patrol ship of the Death Guard intercepted a transmission revealing that something was wrong. Praal had led a rebellion. The Imperium was shocked. Their appointed governor had instigated an uprising. The Emperor gave this mission to his favorite son, Horus. But Horus was already setting up the biggest betrayal in Warhammer 40k, and this was the perfect chance to start. Horus summoned those who had already agreed to join his rebellion: the World Eaters, the Death Guard, and the Emperor's children. To prevent interference, Horus, as War Master of the Imperium, sent the Ultramarines, the Blood Angels, and the Dark Angels far away on other campaigns. The Death Guard landed with Imperial war engines near the capital. The Emperor's children assaulted the newly rebuilt palace, while the World Eaters prevented heretic reinforcements from arriving. The Emperor's children succeeded. They found Vardus Praal. He threatened the assault troops, but Lucius silenced him with his sword. At the same time, the sons of Horus under Garviel-Loken stormed the temple fortresses and slaughtered the entire Warsingers cult. It seemed all was finished in just a few hours, but the real events had only begun. Right after victory, communications were cut. From orbit, Life Eater's virus bombs began to fall, annihilating all life and leaving behind a highly flammable residue. But let's take a step back. Before the bombs were dropped, not everyone agreed with such a decision, especially those who refused to betray the Emperor. Among them, Nathaniel Garrow stood out. Together with a group of loyalists, he seized the frigate Eisenstein, hoping to reach Terra and warn the Emperor about the deeds of his beloved son. The Eisenstein managed to survive the traitor's barrage and even pull off an emergency warp jump. At the same time, one of the Emperor's sons, Saul Tarvitz, couldn't stand by and watch Horus's plan unfold. He stole a Thunderhawk and flew down to warn the loyalist forces on the surface. There, alongside them, he dug in within the bunkers and fortifications, ready to hold out against the coming onslaught. That was the shot from Horus's flagship, the one that set the entire planet on fire until it burned brighter than a sun. When the flames subsided, Horus checked if anyone had survived. Learning that many Astartes endured, Horus was enraged. He ordered a second bombardment, but then saw Angron charging ahead to finish the loyalists. Thus, Horus supported Angron and ordered his forces to land in support. Rumors say the fortified defenses allowed the loyalists to inflict heavy casualties, one loyalist for every 3 traitors slain. Horus wanted swift victory, but the campaign dragged on for several Terran months due to storms that blocked supplies. When the storms abated, Horus, enraged, sent all his forces, including the Titans, into the assault. All this time, Eidolon kept trying to break into the palace where his brother-in-arms, Saul Tarvitz, was holding the line. And during that defense, another betrayal took place. When it became clear that Tarvitz was turning into a hero in the eyes of the Imperium, his former brother Lucius did something truly vile. Jealous of Tarvitz's growing fame, Lucius stabbed his brothers in the back, abandoning his section of the defense and leaving it wide open for the enemy. Because of that, the loyalist defenders of the Imperium were doomed. Was it over? Not yet. The main loyalist forces under Garviel-Loken held the Temple District. They resisted to the last, but traitor forces led by Abaddon, first captain of the Sons of Horus, encircled them. Even so, about 100 Astartes broke through and escaped. The Loyalist forces were defeated. By then, Fulgrim finally arrived to Horus with grim news. Horus longed to hunt down every surviving Loyalist, but time was short. He ordered withdrawal, bombarding the capital once more with conventional munitions, leveling it to the ground. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more Warhammer 40k stories.